India and Russia are set to sign a number of agreements to enhance cooperation across areas, including trade and healthcare, during Russian President Vladimir Putin's two-day visit to New Delhi this week. Putin is scheduled to arrive in India on December 4th for annual summit talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to further solidify India-Russia strategic ties. The Ministry of External Affairs says the visit will allow both sides to review progress in the special and privileged strategic partnership and set a fresh vision for future cooperation. President Droupadi Murmu will also host a banquet in Putin's honor.
His Excellency President Vladimir Putin is visiting India, Delhi on 4th and 5th of December to participate in an annual summit. First, we have to understand what exactly is this. Actually, India and Russia, they have created a very special mechanism called India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission. And in this commission, it's basically to encourage and take measure to improve the trade, energy, tourism, aviation, defense, space, nuclear, science and technology, variety of sectors.
On defense, officials say New Delhi is examining the option of procuring additional S-400 surface-to-air missiles from Russia after their effectiveness was demonstrated during Operation Sindoor. India signed a $5 billion contract in 2018 for 5 S-400 units. 3 squadrons have been delivered and the remaining 2 are expected by mid-next year. Officials also indicate that there could be exploratory talks on Su-57 fighter jet squadrons, though they underline that no final decision on procuring them has been made. Ahead of the visit, the Russian parliament's lower house, the State Duma, ratified the Reciprocal Exchange of Logistic Support or RELOS, a pact that sets rules for mutual logistical support and access to airspace and ports during joint exercises, humanitarian missions, and disaster relief.
Defense continues to be very, very important. So if you saw, for example, in the context of Sindoor, what came out was the S-400 that India had brought from Russia, or the BrahMos missile that India and Russia have co-developed, that there is a joint venture partnership there. Both work very well for India. So again, the signals that we see in the public domain are that India would continue to deepen the defense and defense technology partnership with Russia. There's talk of acquiring more S-400 missile systems, S-400 missiles. There's talk of potentially looking at the S-500 system. Russia has offered cooperation in the 5th-gen fighter aircraft. So these are things to look at for the future and defense technology. And beyond that, in the civilian technology sector, Russia has certain strengths in cybersecurity, in digital technologies. And I think certainly those are areas that could be explored. India has also shown interest in the Arctic, the potential for development there, including in the mineral sector. And Russia has a long border along the Arctic. So there are certainly a lot of opportunities that can be explored.
Energy and trade are expected to be another major focus area. Officials say Russia has offered India extra discounts on crude oil after Indian purchases dipped in recent weeks following new US sanctions on 2 Russian producers. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has acknowledged New Delhi's concern over a large trade deficit and says both sides are jointly looking at ways to increase Russian imports from India and shield bilateral trade from third country pressure. According to Peskov, India currently buys goods and services worth around $65 billion from Russia, while Russian imports from India stand at about $5 billion.
There is a real disbalance in our trade, and you're totally right. And we are aware of that. We're selling much more than we buy from India. And we know that our Indian friends are concerned about that, and that and by the way, we're jointly looking for possibilities of increasing imports from India to Russia. So we want to buy more from India. And during the visit of the president, of our president, actually, even I think 1 day prior to the visit, there will be a congress, a forum of importers. So, and this will be an event in order to pursuing a goal to discuss the possibilities of increasing imports from India to Russia.
Overall, the visit comes as both sides look to secure long-term energy supplies, stabilize defense deliveries, and maintain trade despite Western sanctions on Russia. The summit is also expected to cover the Ukraine conflict, Afghanistan, and wider regional security, with Moscow stressing that it values India's position and openness to a peaceful resolution of the Ukraine crisis.